Yeah, listener, I hear what you're saying, but I would say this to you. If it was a kickboxing bout, Sean O'Malley would take Davashili apart, right? And I think one of the big things O'Malley lived to regret in that fight was not kicking at all. Then finally, I think it was in the fourth or fifth round, he launched one of those awesome front kicks he has that comes from traditional martial arts that he doesn't talk about. And he almost knocked Davashili out. Davashili was on his back feet, pedaling away, clearly hurt. And I think O'Malley will regret that for a long time. And I've seen fighters do that a lot, right? Like, they say, well, I'm not going to kick at all because the guy's a great, jiu-jitsu guy or a great wrestler. And then they take themselves completely out of their game. And they're not fighting their style anymore. So you gotta be very careful with how far you go into someone else's world to try to alter your style. Really, you're just changing your whole self and your whole method of fighting, and that very rarely is actually effective. It would be better to be go down swinging, in my opinion, right? Like, I wish O'Malley had fought like he fights, and if he got taken down, so what? That's kind of life. But it is what it is. Styles make fights, especially in MMA. And I didn't really see Davashili out wrestle Cejudo, but I'm quite certain on a freestyle wrestling circuit that might have been different. Then again, I don't know. Maybe Davashili's an awesome freestyle wrestler too. I've often questioned, like, where does that grappling background from Georgia that he has come from? Is it judo? Is it Greco? Is it freestyle? But whatever it is, man, it works perfectly for MMA. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Greco because, Greco throws and whatnot, body locks have become very, very important in MMA. That freestyle double leg takedown has gone away more and more as people have learned to adapt to it. And it's interesting as you put fighters in those situations. I'll tell you something. In wrestling, pure wrestling, folk style wrestling in high school, I had great takedown defense. I do not have great takedown defense when I'm fighting MMA, right? Because I'm worried about my kicks and my punches and everything else. I also don't have great takedown defense in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with a gi-on, right? And why? Because I'm not straight up looking for grips, keeping myself away. Rather, I'm bending myself over, getting ready to defend the double leg, trying to get a front headlock, and that just doesn't work in that sport. So, as each of these guys takes their strengths and tries to meld them to mixed martial arts, there's always going to be holes. And that's why mixed martial arts is so much more exciting than boxing. Floyd Mayweather had boxing down to a science, right? Been doing it his whole life, uncle, father in it. And he learned from a very young age how to shut down pretty much everyone's offense. But in shutting down everyone's offense, he also shut down the excitement of boxing for a long time for people. But yeah, it is what it is, man. I love MMA. I can't wait to see Davashili versus Nurmagomedov. It's going to be a great fight. And everybody read my book, Warrior of the Light.